Well, after a fine afternoon of reflection, of history, of love, and devotion to the Lord's work, we get an opportunity to present to you those that we've talked so much about today. And young people, as I've reminded you, and I'll say this again, take an opportunity to talk to some people with a lot of gray hair in their head, because they probably, and even some will just die. They'll get an opportunity to tell you a lot about history, and it's more living history than it is just something you read in a book. And their stories are probably far more interesting than the ones that you find in a book. So to present to you this afternoon, Mr. Isaac W. Rooks, Jr.
A microphone. Dangerous. I've already been given specific instructions by my chief CEO sitting over here. Don't talk too long. Don't talk too long. I tell you what, right now, my cup runneth over. I'm so full until I could just float right off the stage here. I've heard so many great things, great music, been in the midst of friends, students. I have some students there right now. Where are some of my students? Stand up and let me see who you are. Do we have some students in here? Yeah, look there. There's a row back there behind me. Row back behind me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, one behind me, too. Thank you, thanks so much. You know, I thought about this for quite some time. So how am I going to end this? How am I going to end this thing? How am I going to close this thing? I've closed a whole lot of things in my lifetime. I've closed more than almost 500 football games in the doors. Lee Jean spoke a while ago there. One of them was real testy there, because that one he spoke about was my last broadcast in the championship. That was kind of hard to get across there. I've closed a lot of television shows. Every week, 3 days in a week, I close a radio show. But I don't know how am I going to close this. And I thought about television. I thought about people on television when they receive awards and so forth. They try to tell the names of everybody that had anything to do with where they got where they are and how what they won, what kind of award it was, if it was an Academy Award or what it is. Some of them pull out a laundry list and try to read it and they blow a whistle. Now, somebody don't blow a whistle on me right now. I don't have a laundry list. If I had a laundry list, it would probably start back here and roll out there to the front, somewhere in the lobby out there. The list would be just that long here. I do want to thank all of those persons who were kind enough to put notations and well wishes in the souvenir booklet. I know who you are by name, but I'm not going to try to call any names because invariably I would miss someone, and I don't want to do that. But I do feel obligated to mention several names here. First of all, Mrs. Eiffel, the chairperson of this Harvest Committee, and Miss Laura Cliff, who orchestrated this affair here that we have today. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my wife, Nancy. I go to bed at night, and I'm sleeping, I wake up, and she's still up, working on something to get this thing right. But there's nothing unusual about that, because she's been doing it for a long time, many years. When those 44 years, and I was up and down the road, up and down the road, up and down the road, she's always there, taking care of things. So it's not unusual. I don't think my son, Sonny, He did a lot of leg work. Did a lot of leg work in getting this thing done here. And I've got to thank these four men here, because they came at my request. And they mean so much to me. We spent so many great hours and years together. So I got to mention them. Dr. Henry Lacy, one of my prize students, all the way from New Orleans, he came to speak. And of course, Leo Turner. Leo was in a class when I first started teaching back in 1950. And of course, Gene Bright. I always tell Gene, so you ain't happy, you're my brother. I always say that. We spent a lot of time together. I never forget the time out. We were in a press box in Tennessee, and I had to leave, like I did a few minutes ago. I had to leave. And I said, I gotta go, Gene. He said, wait a minute. I'm gonna leave you with the microphone. So I left Gene there with that microphone, and I said, you're gonna have to do something with it, because I got to leave you now. But he came through like he always did, came through like a champ. And I got to mention also Tommy Lockhart. Tommy's still back there. 27 years, was it, Tommy? 27, was it 30? It was said 27 years, 30 years, up and down the road. I requested him, not only was he great in the booth here, but what a set of pipes. What a set of pipes. I tell you what, he's been singing around a long time here, but the older he gets, he seems to get better. I mean, where's that range come from? That power, I don't know where it came from, I don't know. And I got to mention Lee Jean. I remember Lee when he first came to the booth, the little fellow from Tennessee with the twang. Yeah, but one thing about him, though, he wanted to learn. He wanted to be good, and he is good. He wanted to do that. He said he learned some things from me. Perhaps he did. I noticed he has a little notebook where he keeps notes in. He saw that. It's one thing I always preach all the time. Preach to him, say, you got to be prepared. If you're gonna get on the air, you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. He listened to that. That's why he's doing a good job here, along with this cat in the back behind me here. Ted, yeah, right. Okay. Go Bulldogs. Please allow me, and I know you've been here a long time, and your patience is great here, and God bless you for that. But let me put this little footnote in here. A lot of things have been said, a lot of things have been written in that book about all the good things that I've accomplished and done, and the legend and all of this kind of things here. Hey, but I didn't do this by myself. I had a lot of help. I had a lot of good help. Good mother, good father, good wife, great teachers at the high school level and at the college level that helped. No man is an island. No man lives alone. You get help. And I got a lot of help from a lot of great people, and I do appreciate that. And I got to mention, it's already mentioned before, the Blue Goose, Leroy Garrett. He's the man that said, you want to try it? When I first got into broadcasting, Paul White was in the middle of 1960, left for some reason or another. He said, you want to try it? I hadn't ever tried it before. I said, yeah, I want to try it. 44 years later, I was still doing it. You know, and I thought I was doing it a long time until I heard today I'm always watching TV and ESPN looking for some sports news, you know. And I heard over there, Vince Scully is going to come back next year, 65 years. My goodness. I may start over again. I may start over again. I've been in the public arena all my life. That's all I know. I've been all my life.